Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Biz Talk. We have a great and fun guest today. We can't wait. Let's go.
Woo, I love it. You're right, Kelsey. Get you pumped up. It's a drinker kind of morning, Sarah. I'm the drinker again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Biz Talk. I am Glenna Hum, the president of Fusion One Marketing, and we are here every Tuesday and Friday talking to small local businesses and just to hear about how their businesses stand out from their competition, but also they're going to give us some tips along the way. So before we get started, though, I want to remind you of where you can find all of our broadcasts. All right. We have a new podcast channel, which is called Marketing and a Mic, and it's really the culmination of our Biz Talks and all of the shows that we do live. We are live on Facebook and YouTube for Biz Talk, and then you can catch all the reruns or I guess you can catch it afterwards on all the rest of the channels. All right, ladies, we have a really fun guest this morning. No pressure, Alex. But before I introduce him, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves.
Good morning. I'm Sarah. I'm the director of digital marketing.
And hello, I'm Kelsey. I'm a social media manager with Fusion One Marketing.
Awesome. All right. Today we have with us a really funny, genuine. We don't say funny right off the bat because then the pressure's on, right?
No.
We have
jokes.
Yeah, we have Alex Brackett with Hole in the Wall with us this morning. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Well, yeah, no pressure at all. We're really laid back here.
Oh my gosh.
We just expect you to be funny part of the
time. So if something goes flat, we said you're funny. And also I'm a liar now. It's not funny.
If it goes flat, we won't make fun of you too much. All right. Let's go ahead and get started, Alex. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about your background and your beautiful family?
All right. So a little bit about me is I have a background in church ministry. I did that for a good 10 years of my life. I also did sales for a good portion of my life. And now I do drywall, which is fun. So I'll explain that transition in just a second. So I have been married for going on to be 11 years this August. And I've got 4 kids out of that. Yeah, I know, every 2 years, 10 years, 4 kids. I know the math is astounding. All right, so I've got an 8-year-old who's Jaden. She's my girl. I've got a 6-year-old Liam. He's my oldest boy. And then I've got a 3-year-old Jackson and an almost 2-year-old baby. So wow. We are a super, super busy family, and it never stops for us. And I feel all of you guys out there who have been quarantined with your kids. I was lucky enough to be deemed essential, so I could escape.
But your poor wife.
And my wife had to deal with a lot of the homeschooling and being home and all that. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen those pictures of parents like throwing their kids, but whenever I walked through the door, I always had a kid like thrown at me at some point. This one, like whoever didn't listen to me that day, I got that one as soon as I walked in the door. But my wife has been absolutely fantastic teaching the kids. I mean, she never thought she would be a homeschool parent, and I don't think she ever will after this, especially. But she did awesome actually teaching the kids. But it's just a little bit about my crazy life. It's just having 4 small kids and running a business and just trying to stay happy and stay married has been, it's been fun. I'm insanely blessed to be where I am. I got started with Hole in the Wall is I figured out that I was decent with my hands when we renovated our last house before we moved up to Jasper, Alabama, or Birmingham area. And I figured I had a knack for it. And I knew Bill from basically being in Orlando, Florida. I've known him and his family 10 years, and they're an amazing family. And he started this company, Hole in the Wall. And I was able to tie into them, and they gave me an opportunity to open up an office in Birmingham. And I haven't looked back since. So that's
perfect.
Yeah.
So, okay, I was going to ask you what brought you from, because you were originally started with did you start with Hole in the Wall out in Birmingham, or did the opportunity bring you to Birmingham?
Well, okay, so this is how it basically, I wanted to move to Birmingham because we wanted to work with a nonprofit and we wanted to come up here and help a church. So I was able to call Bill and say, hey, Bill, and I've had a good enough relationship with Bill and he knows the type of person that I am. I said, because I told my wife, believe it or not, 2 or 3 years ago, I said, man, if I ever open up a business or have anything to do with business, I want to do what Bill does, which was hole in the wall drywall repair, because I thought it was such a cool concept. I love the name. I love their integrity. And it just fit into who I am as a person. So I got on the phone with Bill and I said, man, I want to move to Birmingham. And he's like, do you want to open an office? Like, excited about opening something. And his thing was, is he just wanted someone that he felt like he could trust to open something or to trust with his business at another location other than where he is. So I had never worked with Hole in the Wall before. I had just basically, they were able to give me the opportunity, give me some training and let me loose up here in Birmingham.
Fantastic. I love that too. It's so
Birmingham is maybe sorry for that. I don't know.
Well, tell us about all the services that you provide through Hole in the Wall, and also let us know if you have like a minimum or a maximum for your repairs.
Okay, so the services that we provide small hole repair. Okay, now what that means is this: we'll fix anything from like just this tiny of a hole all the way up to sheets of drywall. Okay, and the minimum we have is $125 minimum, because that's basically what it cost me to crank up my truck with all the license, insurance, and everything that we need to actually pull up to your house to show up is $125, and that'll get you like a 1x1 hole in the wall or less. Now, what that includes is a texture match. Now here we don't have a ton of textures on the walls, like mainly everything's smooth. Like if you notice your ceilings, like in Florida, they have something called knockdown. So I'll get a little drywall-y here, and that's that kind of sloppy texture that you'll occasionally see on walls. So we can match that. And the big thing here that I'm noticing in Orlando is the texture matching on your ceiling. A lot of people don't want to do a full house popcorn scrape on their ceiling or the room just because they have to have a patch in their ceiling. So we're able to match small, medium, and coarse popcorn. Now, that doesn't make a difference until you mess it up. And that's because if you put the wrong size popcorn in the ceiling, somebody can walk around your ceiling and go, oh, there was a repair there. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the repairs that we do, no one can ever tell that we were even there. That's one of the services that we do is texture matching, which is really important in your living rooms, in your bedrooms, and all those places, because you know there's tons of imperfections in your house, right, in your drywall. If you just go around and look, but you don't notice what you don't know. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you see it, you're going to notice it. So we try to make it where you never even know that there was something there. We do provide painting services, but that's not our thing. Our thing, we paint if we repair something. Like if you want us to paint, we'll paint. But I've had requests for whole home painting and stuff like that, and that's just something that we don't do because our specialty is drywall. And really, there's no maximum in our price. It just depends. Like if it's a large job, there's going to be no maximum on your price. Basically, it's just going to be our time to be out there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, we have some people joining us this morning. We have Cindy Edmonds and LaVon Cheney.
She's awesome.
Brenda Blanton. I think you probably recognize that name.
I do.
Andy Interkin, Harry Slagle, and Harry had asked, do y'all do ceiling popcorn removal? I'm not sure that you do the removal, but you'll fix.
Yes, we actually do removal.
Okay.
Yes, we do removal. Right now, we are working on how much removal we can actually do. And right now, we can do about up to 1,000 square feet pretty easily. And if it's anything more than that, we can definitely work something out. Okay. It's just, here's the thing. If the home is empty, we can do a lot more. But whenever there's a popcorn scrape and the people are living in it, it's the messiest thing that you can ever possibly do to your home is take off the popcorn in the ceiling. Yeah. And that's simply because you have to cover everything. Like your floors, your walls. I mean, it gets bad. So, and the people in the home are going to have to like go on vacation or like shuffle around to different rooms. So if they shuffle around to a different room or live in the other side of the house, and that's why I say, you got to be careful with, coming to somebody's house and you're doing a full popcorn scrape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine that could be a mess. I would say what you do to me, that's the first thing I would think of. Oh my gosh, what a mess this is going to be to have. Huh?
It's a hot mess. It's
Yeah.
bad. My wife takes pictures of me when I get home because it's coming out of my eyeball creases. Like, what did you do today? And I'm like, yeah.
But you guys are able to save. I mean, when you're doing the jobs, the normal hole in the walls, you said that you can save time and also dust with your repair process. I think that would be interesting to a lot of people, how you could do it without a mess.
Okay, so there's the traditional way of doing drywall is somebody's going to come in, they're going to cut out your square, whatever hole it was. They're going to put one coat of mud on it. Okay, and typically that one coat will take 45 minutes to 90 minutes to dry. So that tradesperson doesn't want to hang around and waste an hour and a half at your house. So they'll put it on there, they'll put the tape in, and then they'll come back another day. And then they'll sand it down a little bit, which causes dust, and then they'll put coat number 2 on it. Now, they don't really want to hang around the other hour or 2 hours to wait for that to dry. So they're out and they're going to some other location to do another job. All right. Now, all that you can imagine when the tradesperson gets really hairy because of all the random stuff they run into along the way or family problems or whatever. Now we're up to day number 3, right? They're going to come in and actually finish it and sand it down. But if they see an imperfection in it and they don't like it, guess what they're going to do? Another coat. So now you're up to like day 3. Okay, you're up to day 3 with somebody coming in your house causing dust, and it's a hot mess, and people are used to this. They're actually, if you ask somebody who's done a drywall repair, they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, he came back 2 or 3 days. He said it would take 2 days or 3 days for me to do it. And, you know, that's their expectation. So what we've done is we're able to get everything in and out in about 3 or 4 hours for that same hole. So we're not in and out of your house a whole bunch of times. We schedule an appointment with you, and we're there during that appointment time. Now, there are cases where stuff comes up, but that is super, super rare. And we over communicate with our customers to make sure that they know what's going on. And if we have to come back another day, and typically if we have to come back, it's because we need to paint. Now, that actually does need to dry, and that's pretty normal because we don't want to put paint. If it's a small patch, we can actually paint same day. But other than that, we'll have to come back the next day for paint. But with our dustless process, that's where it gets really fun. So my boss has these 3 C's. He always says, Bill, he's always talking about the 3 C's, which is cover up, complete, and clean up, right? So that means that we have to cover up everything. So anything that's even remotely close, we're putting plastic. We're putting these things called zip poles, which holds plastic to your ceiling. We put it on your walls and we put it on your floor. Now that covers just any dust that we do when we cut the hole out of the wall. All right. And as far as the actual process, we're able to gather the dust with a little bit of water that we have. So it collects all that dust for you. And it's not on your house. It's not on your TV screen. It's not on your darkwood bookcase, your darkwood floors.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. That drywall dust is just insidious. So we're just able to collect all that dust for you in a little bit of a water slurry at the end of the process. And it makes your life a lot easier and ours. And everybody's been real happy and surprised when we leave their house and they're like, it's not dusty. It's not dirty. We take great pride in keeping people's houses clean.
Perfect.
Yeah, that is. Wow. So you save time. Obviously, you're a lot cleaner than the normal process, the typical process. Right. And you also had mentioned when we had talked earlier that what's unique about your business is that you're able to kind of fill in the gap for services that aren't typically offered or right. that other businesses just won't do. So what exactly does that mean? Okay,
this is what that means. It's because most drywall companies are trying to do whole home or new installs. All right, that means they want new stuff. They don't like doing repairs because they have to come back, like we talked about earlier, 3 or 4 times to do it. For, somebody's not going to pay, $1,000 to fix a 2x2 size hole in the wall. Like they're just, and it's technically they feel like it's wasting their time because they haven't figured out a way to make it profitable for them. So if it's not profitable for somebody, typically they're not going to do it, or they're going to come after a big job. So what we've done is we say, okay, you don't like those jobs? We'll take those jobs because we figured out how to make and do really well in those at a cost-efficient way for us and the customer. So anything that's a sheet or less, we're able to knock out really fast. And that's just one of those things that most trades guys don't want because they want your new house. And then they'll say, well, they want 10 houses because they're doing like $20 a board or something like that. So the quantity for them is more. Like it helps them more because they want that guaranteed work, which we just want to stick to repairs.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's great. I'm going to jump over here back to the comment section. So Alan Young said that you guys did a great job at his wife's company. Thank you so much. We've got Gail Mason with us, and Kirk Edmonds wants to know, so you can repair what I try to fix.
All day.
All day.
All day. I get lots of those. I get lots of those of my husband messed this up. But that's okay, because I've had to call, electrician and a plumber before because I've messed things up. There's no shame. It's okay.
Cindy wants to know, for her real estate clients, can you make a repair and get paid through the closing process?
Of course. We can do, for any of our realtors, we can do a 30-day invoice section.
Oh, cool.
So, if, I'm not there like, give me my money, right? We can set up something. If we have a business partnership where I know that you're sending us consistent business, we can do a 30-day invoice for you, no problem.
Fantastic. Well, I think that brings us right around into tip time, Sarah.
It sure does. Okay, we're gonna have
I get through this whole process without one dad joke. Oh my God.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, all right, put your thinking cap on, Alex. It's time for tip time.
Such a buildup. We're all ready.
Tips: brush your teeth in the morning.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, here we go, Alex. What is your #1 pro tip that could benefit customers when they are looking for a drywall repair service?
Oh my goodness, look at their referral. Look at people who have worked with them before. Okay. Google is honestly, it's pretty accurate, and I think it's pretty true. I would check their referrals. I would check with people who've worked with them before. I would check their response time. If they're not responding to you really fast, if they're not getting back with you within a day or so of everything, after you've contacted them, that's a big red flag. And my biggest thing is just ask for people they've worked with before and get a reference before they show up at your home.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Boy, is that ever true? It really is. So this is another thing that I think was so unique, and we had talked about this earlier, is that you have an ability to kind of provide a virtual quote to customers prior to a job so that they can get that quote, before you even have to walk into the door.
Right. So what's cool is we have office staff, and we have the best office in the world. So I harass them daily. They're probably sick of me because but we do have office staff. And so what that means for you is that whenever you send an email in the office, or we have an app that you can text through. All right, it's not a hole in the wall app, but it's a phone number you can text pictures to. So what we do is you'll send a picture of your repair and you'll send it to our office, and then our office will look at it and we'll say, okay. And if they have any questions, they'll contact me. But most of the time they're able to say, because we have our pricing mapped out all the way from a 6-inch hole to a full sheet. So they can look automatically and say how much something's going to cost. So we're able to respond to you within about 20 minutes with a quote. If it's something more complicated, I'll come to your house and check it out. But our virtual quoting saves a ton of time. And we do upfront pricing. So if I get there and it's more than, if it's a little bit more, I'm not going to charge you for that because we've already given you a price. And if it's less, I can take off money. So, but we do keep our price. The price is our price.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
So we talked about you provide drywall repair.
Right.
You dabble in a little bit of painting. You
Right.
can do popcorn ceiling removal. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you offer?
Anything else? No, I think that's what we do. We do drywall, a dabble in paint. I like that. And
so if I didn't have a ceiling leak or any issue with my ceiling, I just wanted popcorn removed, could you do that?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, we can definitely take it down. I will gladly make your house really messy.
When you're done, it'll be a lot brighter. I feel like the popcorn ceiling really absorbs a lot of light in your room. Well,
it absorbs light and dust, and basically they used it originally for acoustic ceiling texture, so to absorb sound. What you don't realize is that most people use it to blow up really bad drywall work. So when you scrape it down, you spend a lot of time fixing all the stuff that the popcorn covered up.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
That does not sound fun.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. So much.
Well, Alex, I have to tell you that a lot of times, several times during the week, you just make me smile, and you're probably going, uh-oh. I'll be working hard, looking at our social media and all this stuff, and then I'll come across what I call an Alexism.
Yeah, most people use their Facebook for political purposes. Mine is just for memes and dad jokes.
And harass your wife, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. All of it.
But we really feel like we need to highlight this because
Most definitely.
it's too good not to share. So we put together a little segment called Alexisms. Your wife, if she's watching, is probably like, "Oh no, what's about to happen here?"
She's already rolling her eyes. Even if she's talking or not, her eyes are already rolling like
It's so funny. Well, it's hard to pick our favorites, but we picked some of our favorites, and I'm sure you're not going to care at all that we share them right here in front of you.
I put them out for like my 1,400 friends on Facebook. I mean, God,
That's
I'm not there now. Jeez.
That's true. Let me see.
God.
Sarah,
Glenna, I'll start with you. Okay, this was Glenna's pick. This is what she liked the best. Hey, would you like to say it first, Alex?
Those are my
Hey,
favorite
Nicole, yeah.
pickup lines.
okay, you have to read it for us, Alex. Like,
Oh, I do?
yeah.
Hey, Nicole, want to get closer than 6 feet?
It's perfect.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
All right.
He's
Okay,
normally
I think this is going to be. Let's see, which one is this? Oh, okay, this was Kelsey's favorite.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikki, do you need toilet paper? I can be your Prince Charmin.
Oh, I love it so much. Okay, this was my personal favorite.
I'm a naughty boy because I only washed my hands for 19 seconds.
That's so bad.
Oh.
That's so bad.
I love that through marriage you're still trying to hit on her.
Well, okay, so the problem is I don't think she considers it hitting anymore. She considers it harassment. She's told several people, this is harassment. This is not pickup lines. This is harassment. Okay, so what you don't know is that my wife is like this really awesomely beautiful Puerto Rican. Okay, and she's with this dorky white kid. So most of the people realize, they're like, oh my gosh, did you not know this about him when you married him? And I'm like, no, she knew. She knew exactly what she was getting. There was no hiding who I am as a person.
Right.
It wasn't like I was all suave when she met me and dated me.
You're like, honey, you signed up for this.
You signed up for this. I didn't change.
So who's Clarissa? Clarissa, I'm not sure how you pronounce the last name. Huh?
Winchester?
No, Ojeda? Ojeda?
I'm not-
Anyway, she's like hitting her head against the wall.
Oh, wait. I know. No, she's in my B&I group.
And then she's like, the
jokes are
jokes are
painful.
painful.
I know. They are painful.
I think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay, now that I'm crying. All right, let's move on to important things. What areas do you guys service? How far out do you go from Birmingham?
All right. We do a 50-mile radius around Birmingham. Okay. So that'll put us all the way down 280. I've actually gotten some jobs down on 280 before. It was way past down 280, but contractors just told people no, they would not come out there. It was too far for them. So we do our best to get out there to get everyone.
Okay.
And it's Clarissa. I'm sorry, Sarah. It's Clarissa Winchester. She must have just had her name.
Uh-oh, Sarah.
Did Sarah freeze?
Sarah froze.
Are you frozen?
Oh, no.
Oh, I've kicked her out.
Am I?
Are you back?
Am I back or am I frozen? I
Are
don't
you
know what's happening.
Oh, you're frozen.
I'm back.
Really
Okay.
frozen. Stay still. Frozen.
Just a little delayed. You're okay.
Yeah, I'm playing a game. How still can I be? So I think this is worth mentioning that Hole in the Wall really provides a level of professionalism that others really don't. And there's so many aspects about it that you provide, but I wanted you to expand on that a little bit more because I feel like it's so important.
Okay. So what we do to be professional is we return your phone call or we answer your phone call.
Wow, that's
Amazing.
Hey, whenever you have people thank you for showing up, you start realizing that the bar is like really low
So bad.
in Birmingham for tradespeople. Like, y'all, thank you for being here. I'm like, what?
You're
Wow.
paying me to be here.
So you get an appointment time, and we do stick to that appointment time. If something got moved or there's an emergency, you'll get a phone call from us. We just won't show up. We do have uniforms. Okay. I don't think there's another drywall company here that has uniforms. We have uniforms and we have logoed vehicles. All right. Which provides a really nice service for all the, for all the realtors that are watching. I mean, just think that if you're going to have a repair done, you're not just having a guy in a pickup truck and some overalls potentially showing up. You've got an actual company with people with white pants, orange shirt, and a logo truck showing up at the designated appointment time for a repair. So most of the time that doesn't go with trade service people. And we're able to, we call them trade service partners, which would be all your plumbers, electricians, restoration companies. I do all of the drywall for Mr. Electric actually in town. So I do any kind of their mishaps, or, if they have to cut in a drywall, I'm coming over to fix it. They just give us the person's name and phone number, and we take care of the rest. We'll take before and after photos, tell them the appointment time, and we communicate thoroughly through the whole process. But it actually keeps them from having to be the middleman, from communicating with their customer and us. So that gives tradespeople, it just takes one more thing off someone's plate. Like a realtor will take stuff off their plate because they're busy and they don't have time to manage, a tradesperson as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You really set the bar high there, Alex.
Well, I want to, I'm the king of drywall in Birmingham, so you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I want to take a little pause from talking about you and talk a little bit about the
People don't ask about me.
We'll come back to you.
No, but see, people don't ask me things like how fast I can run anymore. They don't ask me my favorite dinosaur. I really get left out on all these really fun questions.
We'll get to some fun questions when we get to the hot seat.
Okay. All right.
Okay. But for right now, I want to talk about Nicole's role with the nonprofit Raising Arrows.
Yes.
So tell us about her work with the nonprofit and share a little bit about what they do for the community.
Okay. So we live in Walker County, and there's a program called Raising Arrows, and they're a nonprofit, non-religious organization, and they partner with schools, they partner with local businesses, but they do that to provide food for people who don't have it. So, and they do have some aftercare programs that they do as well. So like during spring break, had COVID not hit, people would have been there at their facility they don't have anywhere to go with their kids. Now, what happened during COVID was really, really special was Walker County asked them to start feeding the whole county. All right. So they went from about 500 meals a day to 2,000 meals a day that they actually provide a hot meal, and they were delivering them to 9 different locations throughout the county. They partnered with the sheriff's office. They partnered with, local grocery stores. All of the elementary schools gave them all their perishable goods. And what they do is they prepare those foods at their facilities, put them in a very nice plate, and then drive them to locations that people would drive through and pick them up.
Wow.
So it was, my wife got really busy. We got really busy during COVID. It's crazy how things like slow down for a lot of people, but it got really, really busy for us. And she did a fantastic job just helping manage all of that. I don't know. You don't really think about how many people depended upon school lunches for breakfast and lunch until something like this hits. And then you realize people just do not have the income to feed their kids. So they stepped in and just stepped up in a big way to help families in need during the crisis.
That's amazing. So for any of our viewers out there, if you want to donate to Raising Arrows and help them feed people in their community, you can go to their website at myraisingarrows.com or Venmo at raising-arrows-2.
And I've seen the process myself. No money there is wasted at all. Any money that is given is directly used to feed people. It is provide for gas for transportation for the vehicles. So anything that you give is an absolute blessing to them, and it will bless Walker County, and just there's lots of need up here, so it'll be used.
Fantastic. Well, we have some people joining us. Lynn Ray joined us. She said that's absolutely wonderful. And Gail Mason, she said that's awesome. So it's good to get the word out for that great
Mom
organization.
makes me look good, so I can,
You got a bunch of brownie points, right?
I know. After all my jokes, I really need the brownie points. I have a lot of fucking up to do after I embarrass her.
Well, we're going to wrap up here in a few minutes, but first we want to ask you, who are the best referral partners for you? Who can we refer to you that will help keep bringing you business?
Okay, really good referral partners based on roofers. Anybody who does roofing, because after a roof, people's ceilings are always messed up. Plumbers, because they're always cutting into your wall to fix a pipe that's somewhere, and they need someone reliable to come back and fix that hole to make it look perfect and new again. Electricians, for the same reason, they cut into walls all the time. We're a great service for them because it's not a big job. Typically, it's a small one. And also restoration companies. So we do a lot of work for restoration companies because if anybody has a flood in their house, they'll have something called a flood cut, which will either be 2 foot or 4 foot on someone's wall, depending on how much water was in there. So that's a lot of drywall and trim that needs to go back. So we're a perfect company for those businesses.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, Gail Mason said, I wish I'd known you before, because she said she went through a similar process and it was a nightmare. So now she knows who she can call.
Now she could get us next time. Oh, I'll take that back. Hopefully she won't have to go through that again next time, but she'll get good jokes along the way. So.
Package deal.
And you can't put a price on that.
Nope. There you get me. Oh
I get it. I hear it. It's what keeps us going every day is the humor, isn't it?
Gotta step up my game, apparently.
Oh boy. Well, Alex, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you wanted to mention? Because we wanted to move into our fun little game that you don't know about, but want to make sure we covered everything that you want to cover today.
Yeah, you basically covered everything. I mean, I appreciate the opportunity that I have to work for such an amazing company. They gave me an opportunity in Birmingham. It's just what I love about my company. I haven't talked a whole lot about it, is their integrity. It's hard to find good people that have integrity now that will actually go above and beyond when they're in someone's home. And we treat everyone's home like it was my home. And I honestly do treat it like if my wife would be happy with the repair I left, then I'm good to go. Because I just want to make sure that you're happy, that if someone came in my house and left a mess, I wouldn't appreciate it. So our biggest thing is treating your stuff like it's ours and even better.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
That's so hard to find. So thank you.
Sure is. It sure is. Okay. Well, before we let you go, we're going to wrap up with our game, the hot seat.
Look at that. Kelsey's even got the timer ready to roll.
Okay, we're going to ask you a bunch of questions. You're going to answer as fast as you can in 60
seconds. You guys
seconds.
know who you're doing this with? Wow.
Be quick. Yeah,
it's going to be the first thing that comes to mind. Okay?
You ready?
Harry.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're going.
Okay. Are you grumpier in the morning or at night?
Morning.
Would you rather watch sports or play sports?
Play.
Would you rather live without air conditioning or live without heat?
Air conditioning.
What's your wife's favorite color?
Red.
Good. Are you a neat freak or kind of messy?
Kind of messy.
Okay. Could you go an entire week without your phone or without TV?
TV.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a good dancer?
Oh, God, no. I mean,
what is your favorite app or most used app on your phone?
Oh, Facebook.
Okay. Better decade, the 80s or the 90s?
90s.
Okay. Are you a better jokester or a better liar?
Jokester.
Would you rather go to the beach or go to the swimming pool?
Beach.
Okay, beach. Okay.
Time. And Sarah's playing freeze frame again. Oh, she's like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
I love it, man. You know, it's my own game. I like to play.
It's freeze frame. That's a lot of fun.
Freeze frame. Yeah, we like to play it to keep people on their toes. Well, Alex, we just want to thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it. And we hope that we helped you spread the word a little bit further about Hole in the Wall.
Oh, man. Thank you guys for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Well, we really do appreciate it, and we had so much fun. So I don't think I've laughed so much in a while. So thank you for that. My jaws are kind of sore.
I'm gonna tell Rob some jokes for you. Okay.
I was gonna say I expect some things rolling out on Facebook.
Right.
Maybe.
My poor BNI group's like, why?
Hopefully, we inspired you to get something out there today. So I'm got high expectations.
Be on the lookout.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And again, want to thank Alex and hope you all have a great day.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time.